Welcome back to Artists Exposed with Tym Moss. We were just listening to Incomplete, which was sung by my guest, Trent Armand Kendall. Yay!
Thank you. Hope you enjoyed that. Available on iTunes for 99 cents a download.
Yes.
That means I'll probably get 3 cents.
Okay, yeah, right?
But hey, better than nothing.
Exactly. I'm telling you, the entertainment industry and record sales and all of that has changed so drastically since the internet.
Right. I mean, the first CD I did was in '96,
Wow.
and I was like, oh, I came back. That was in London, and when I came back to New York, I was like, look, y'all, I got a CD. Now, having a CD is like having a business card.
Yeah, right.
It's just like leave it on the table. We'll get to it when we can. Thank you for the effort. But it's still great. It's great to have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Actually, I'm working on my first CD right now.
Great.
Yes. Oh, we'll talk later.
All right. Wonderful. I mean, going into a recording studio is literally one of the my favorite things, and and having had the opportunity to have been on a few cast albums, moving here, I knew I wanted to do shows and all of that, but I guess I never leapt forward and all the other things that could possibly come with it. It's so great if you happen to be in an experience and the composer's actually in the room.
Wow, that's so cool.
Those names that we grew up
Yeah.
reading on the back of album covers
Right.
and in the newspaper, I'll be like, oh my God, they're actually here because we live in New York. But if you actually think you get to go into a recording studio and people are under the pressure to knock that cast album out, you don't have time to discuss people's feelings and hopes and dreams. They're like, they shove you into the booth and they go, hit it, and be like, and if you don't knock it out, we'll just have the understudy come in and sing it. And it's really one of my favorite things. So yeah.
So, and now your name is going to be on as composer to some stuff because you're composing and writing and.
Yeah, I'm more of an arranger than a composer, and
That's so exciting.
but because I wanted to really find a way to get all of my voices out, all of these voices rattling around in my head. Actor, singer, stand-up comedian, and but my partner Michael Polisi actually composed the music for Picture Incomplete.
Okay.
And we actually got an award for it.
Wonderful.
There's a festival. Now we've done Fringe and New York Fringe and NYMF, and we've played about 5 regional cities. We've done Dallas and Tampa. It also played in Johannesburg, South Africa, in 2014. But one of my things that I'm most proud of is in 2011 we played off Broadway in the United Solo Festival, which is a festival of one-person shows, and we won Best Musical for that.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
That is so wonderful. That's wonderful.
So, and so I have another show that I'm working on right now. That is I actually have some spot dates of it this summer, and that's called Louis and Ella.
Yeah.
And that's Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald.
Fabulous.
And they're actually reunited in heaven for one night.
Oh my God,
for
that's
a
so
major
cool.
concert. And it stars me as Louis Armstrong, and Ella is actually played by Natasha Yvette Williams, who's currently playing Mama Morton in Chicago on the Broad of Way. Okay.
Now, so you're playing Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
How do you keep that up for the whole show?
You know what? That's what I sound like when I wake up in the morning. So it actually can be more of an effort not to sound like that than to sound. That's kind of a go-to.
I love it.
But it doesn't hurt at all. It doesn't. And when I'm actually in it, it's like some people ask me all the time, like, do you study a lot of videos? And yes, I do. I have access to all of that, and I've read the books, and I've definitely done my homework. But the cool thing about it is that when I'm actually in the throes of performing the show, I don't really have to make conscious decisions to try to sound like him or act like him. I really feel like his spirit comes in and just pushes me forward and tells me what direction to go in. And so far it's working out. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. And so that is in development right now. It's and I love the phrase you call it jazzical.
Yeah, jazzical, it's a phrase I coined. I think of it as a jazz review and a musical.
Yeah.
So there is a book there, but it's just enough book to hold those fabulous tunes together, to link them together because they are the star of the show.
Well, do keep an eye out for this jazzical piece, which is called Louis and Ella, and there will be more down the
I
pipe.
should mention that it's directed by Jeff Whiting, who is Susan Stroman's associate, and has been responsible for mounting all of her shows for like the last 5 or 6 years. So he's literally her right hand, and we all worked together on the Scottsboro Boys for the LA premiere a couple of years ago, and that was great.
Nice, very nice. Now, before we get into what you're doing now, coming up at the Cutting Room, well, actually, you have a one-man review, which is called This Crazy Love at the Cutting Room on Sunday, May 15th at 8 p.m. Let me just get a pen and paper, and I'll remind you again in a little while of that. We'll talk a little bit further about that. But I want to back up a little bit. So after London, then you moved back to New York, and you did like off-Broadway shows. You did Broadway shows. I mean, Into the Woods and Hairspray.
How long have you been in New York?
I've been here since '83.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the golden age.
Yes, right.
Right.
The danger years.
I have, off-Broadway really had, it's slowed down a little bit, unfortunately. But off-Broadway actually has been more of my personality than Broadway. It's like I'm a little to the left, and I love to do shows where you play either outrageous characters that color outside the lines, which is why being in Nonsense, the nonsense that we all know, but all men, grown men playing nuns.
I love it.
I'm in, but I also did a show that was a cult hit called Bat Boy the Musical, and that was all based on these tabloid stories from the Weekly World News, and it's a half child and half bat. I'm in, but it was like men playing women, women playing men. I had, I had one child. I had 2 white children, 1 black child. Boys played girls. We all played about 4 or 5 roles. It was great. So.
We have got to work together. I like the way you think.
Absolutely. We should do Greater Tuna. You know that?
Okay. No, Okay. But I'm open to it.
Okay. Well, I'll send you the script tonight. It's a hoot. But I also did Into the Woods revival on Broadway.
Wow, incredible.
With Vanessa Williams. And I am a bit of a Sondheim freak. I love it. I cry in my lonely times. No. I love Sondheim music, but never thought that I would grow up and be in a Sondheim show.
Yeah,
so
right.
That was a really.
How is that? How would you explain that experience? Like actually being in a show and having Sondheim participating in it.
I really don't know that I can explain it in a way that actually is worthy of what the experience was, because I'm a pretty chill person. Like when somebody famous comes in the room, you can tell how famous they are by how much I disregard them when they walk in the room. Because if I'm really freaking out inside, I'll really just be sitting there checking my watch and my fingernails. I'm not looking at them. I'm not going up asking for it. I have been around so many famous people and did not bother to get a picture, and I was stupid. Okay, but when you get into a Sondheim kind of realm, and it's like the man is just sitting, the man is sitting there across. Oh my God! I'd be like, really? It's like if I kept focusing on it, then we wouldn't get through rehearsal because I would be sitting there geeking out the whole time. But my takeaway from it is no matter who is that the most talented people are always the nicest and most humble people.
Yeah, right.
And
because actually they're just there sharing their soul and doing what they do.
Yeah, they're not walking around, shifting their halo every 5 seconds. It's like, there's work to be done, and the best way to get the work done is to not treat it like it's anything precious.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, you have just had some amazing experiences. That's wonderful. So you've been on Broadway and off Broadway, but I also understand like Broadway right now, just the commerciality, so much of Broadway. That's why I think that off Broadway is where the real art form is lately.
Yeah. And I hope that it comes back stronger to what it used to be. And I think theater, what's popular now, it changes over time. Taste changes, and but me personally, there are shows that I go to see that I enjoy a lot, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I want to be in it.
Right.
Doesn't mean. Feel free to ask, and we'll decide at that time. But that's why it's so important, not just for me, but for anybody, to always keep expanding what your taste is.
Right.
And if it's not coming to you naturally, then get on the computer and create it.
Yes. Yeah.
This is the most fantastic city in the world. I don't care. That's changed. Opportunity is here, but you have to go out. You have to go into the woods and find it.
Absolutely.
You know. Yeah. And
Absolutely.
and you can't. It's fine to always. Oh, I'm looking for a job. I'm looking for a job. But you can't expect people to see something in you that you don't see in yourself.
Right.
Right.
That's wonderful advice.
You got to ring them damn bells.
Absolutely. And speaking of ringing them damn bells, you've got your one-man review coming up.
Right.
So, which
And
I
I'm so
love.
excited about
I love the fact that you just kind of take the bull by the horns and just do it yourself.
Right.
Put a show together. And this one is with a 9-piece orchestra.
Yeah. It's a very heavily horn influenced sound.
Ooh.
And music wise, it's everything's in there, including the kitchen sink. All the tunes are from the 50s to present day. And it's not really like the story of my life by any means. Who wants to sit through that again? But I do think it's important to give the audience enough history of where you've been so that they can relate to you. But it's really not about me. It is about the listener, and I really made an effort to choose tunes that I knew people would have an emotional reaction to. So it's nonstop. I'm not, when I create shows, I'm not into first I talk, then I sing, then we all clap on how fabulous I was, and now we got to gear the thing all up again. And I talk, and we say, no, the music is not.
And for my next number,
it's all weaved in and out. Yeah. But we go from the 50s to present day, so you have tunes from like Smokey Joe's, which I did,
Sweet.
but you got tunes by the Drifters and the Coasters. I have the OJs in there. I have Luther Vandross. Who I was crazy about growing up, Karen Carpenter, The Temptations, and then we get into like CeeLo Green and Maroon 5, and then there's blues tunes like from B.B. King, and then it takes a complete turn, and I get into more jazzy materials, including some things from Five Guys Named Mo that I did and stuff from my CD, and it really, and I end with a country tune.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's all,
you are ringing them damn bells.
It's all in there. Yeah. And what I'm really excited about is that I really wanted to create a show that was a throwback to that type of Vegas performer who could do it all.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
Because like you go back to guys like Sammy Davis Jr. and Frank Sinatra and all of them.
Yep.
Those guys, the reason why they were institutions is because they literally could and did it all.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
and they came from a time, you know, before cable TV and before iPods and everybody having the attention span of a gnat.
Exactly.
You sat down with somebody and you went on a journey with their show.
Absolutely.
And they took you they dragged you every which way but loose, you know. So this is a show that I actually hope that I have plans of developing for Vegas, you know. But right now we're taking it out on international waters, and we're gonna play hotels and casinos.
Nice.
And I'm very excited about it.
Oh my gosh, Trent, I am so excited for you. Now, the name of your one-man review is called This Crazy Love, and you can catch it along with me. I will be catching it at the Cutting Room, which is 44 East 32nd Street, on Sunday, May 15th at 8 p.m. The doors open at 7. So be sure to get down to the Cutting Room on Sunday, May 15th for Trent Armand Kendall's one-man show, This Crazy Love.
Yeah, you can go right to the website, TrentKendall.com, and there'll be a link that'll take you right there.
Trent Kendall with 2 L's.
Yeah. I hope you will come.
Oh, definitely.
I'm gonna save you a seat right up front.
Oh,
So
okay.
you can catch all the.
Okay, I like that.
That would just be.
That's wonderful. Now, before we close, I just wanted to give a quick shout out and a thank you to Cafe Bean at 49th and Broadway, right in the heart of Times Square. That's where we're coming to you from, and we appreciate them allowing us to sit and chat. I had the best time getting to know you a little bit here today, Trent.
Absolutely.
This was absolutely wonderful. Thank you for taking some time and sharing your life and your experices and
It's
just
really
helping us
pleasure.
to get to know you a little bit.
Hey, I so appreciate it, and I had a good time with you.
And likewise. Now, we're going to take this out with Blues in the Night. Anything you want to say about that?
Well, Blues in the Night is originally from that CD that I recorded in London years ago. And the cool thing about some of these tunes that I'm doing in this show, I literally have not sung them in 15, maybe 20 years. There's a lot of new material.
So you're revisiting.
Yeah, and you know, and it's just sort of my personality to always be looking ahead, and I don't look in the rearview mirror.
Right.
But if you're a real singer, you develop some relationships with the songs,
Right.
and you know it gets into your bones, it gets into your DNA, and then there are times when you have to break up. You have to break up with that song.
Yeah.
But when you reconnect, it's like putting on a pair of comfortable shoes that'll fit your Cinderella sliding into a glass pump. And so, Blues in the Night. Blues in the Night is an arrangement of this. It's my arrangement of this Johnny Mercer tune that everybody knows, and it's got that Michael Bublé swinging big band sound, and it's gritty. And even though I recorded it so many years ago, I'm loving doing a tune like this now because now I got all this whiskey in my voice. So we are gonna rip something, okay, at the cutting room.
Well, I can't wait. Again, go to the cutting room for This Crazy Love on Sunday, May 15th at 8 p.m. Yes! And see my guest, Trent Armand Kendall, right here. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, too. Bye, y'all.